A lot of y'all think y'all bigger than the program, and you're not. You're not. This is my legal, educated opinion about why that was dumb as hell, but you don't even need a legal background to understand that that would be dumb. When you are sued, you need to get an attorney. I don't care if you get a top attorney, a one-man show. I don't care who you call. Better call Saul. You better get on the phone, babe, because you need an attorney. He just did a deposition. Of course, he chopped it up because I can't find the full video. Maybe if it's out there, please link me to the full video. I was only watching his reaction to the video or to whatever he found or whatever he recorded. So he did not go in there with an attorney. He went in there with 3 of their attorneys and then a bunch of other attorneys obviously watching, and they were coming in and out the room, he said. So a deposition, consider a deposition just basically a formal, legal, long interview. That's what you need to think of it. So when you get to the deposition portion, you're in the discovery portion of the pretrial. So you file your lawsuit, they respond, then you have something called summary judgment and motions to dismiss. So summary judgment is us saying, we think we have just all the evidence. We don't even need to go to trial. You should just rule in our favor. So you have summary judgment. And then you also have motions to dismiss. We don't think you have enough to even prove anything. They've made it past that. They don't have enough evidence to be outright right, but they also don't have enough evidence to say that nothing happened. So now we need to go into discovery. This is the discovery. So your side is going to give me information and my side is going to give me information, and I'm going to have the court backing. So I'm going to be able to get all those files and all those stuff that you were potentially keeping secret, all that data you have, I'm now going to have access to it. And a part of that access is to interview people in a formal in a setting and question them regarding the case matter. And that's exactly what a deposition is. So it's usually held at a lawyer's office, and whoever has the nicest office, and you go there and you need to sit down and be prepared. We obviously, the Lil Wayne interview, we've seen Jocelyn and her wig get deposed. It's just something that we've seen, and usually they do release that later on. But Akademiks had to sit through 7 hours. 7 hours is normal. 7 hours is normal. So it sounds crazy. He did not prepare for it. He did not prepare for it, and he did not have an attorney there. Your attorney needs to be there because your attorney should be actively objecting to certain questions that could be decided later on if you have to answer. There's a lot of questions. The way they ask the question is important. You may feel like we're going over something again and again and again, but they're actually trying to ask you questions that specifically go into the elements of defamation. I have made so many defamation videos. I cannot go over it one more time. But there's certain elements that you need to prove. And one of them is saying it in a public place, is saying it in a place where other people can hear it. Where did you say these things? That's even one of the clips. Where did you say these things about Megan? He gonna say on the internet where I told everyone who ever listened to me. What? No, that is not the way. No. Why would you say that? Why would you say it like that? Like, even if he's gonna go with the defense, which is his opinion, why would you say that you told everybody that would listen to you? And because Megan Thee Stallion, if you watch my other videos, you know Megan Thee Stallion is a public figure. Akademiks is also a public figure. So there needs to be there's a higher standard. Actual malice. You need to prove that what you did had malice intent. So you need to prove that he knew. There's a point in time that he knew what he was doing was spreading lies. Like, he knew he was doing that, but he still did it anyways. So they need to prove that actual malice. Because there could be defamation if it was like 2 normal people, but because Megan Thee Stallion is a huge star, they're gonna, his defense is gonna say, look at this woman, she's a huge star, she's everywhere. She had an interview on Good Morning America, like, she's a huge star. You need to prove actual malice, right? He literally, basically, what it looks like from the clips I saw, handed that over as well. He handed it over because he said that she's a liar, which is true, because she did lie. We all lie. But she lied in that interview about them having sex. And personally, I would have took it to the grave. But she lied in the interview about them having sex. I think she admitted it in the interview. And so he called her a liar, and he's like, I don't trust liars. I know that they probably were like, have you lied? Do you consider yourself a liar? Do you consider other people liars? I know he's not going to show you that part of it, because you know that they're going to ask him, how do you say one person is a liar and so you don't believe them, but then Tory Lanez you don't consider a liar? I know they asked him about his sources, but he does have some privileges regarding like telling the sources, but he's already also admitted it. You have to understand, this is a major law firm. Quinn Emanuel is a huge law firm. They do litigation. When shit's going bad, you call Quinn Emanuel. watched all his videos 100 times, transcribed all the videos, highlighted all his videos. They've seen all the things. He is a streamer. They've watched his streams. They have a whole bunch of interns doing that hard work of watching all his streams and seeing all the things that he said. And he runs his mouth for a living. So I know there's a lot of things he probably just doesn't even remember saying, but they know what you said and they know that they can prove malice. And then plus you saying and being contradicting in so many ways, because he always slips up. He always slips up and reveals a source, or always slips up. Like, he just talks too much. So plus him going into that deposition with no attorney to protect him from himself. It's like, y'all are not bigger than the program. You are not bigger. You're not smarter than a bunch of attorneys, because you may be smarter than one or two, but you're not smarter than the group. You're not smarter than a bunch of people who have to sit for hours and listen to every single stream while you fucking turn the camera off and go to bed drunk. They were wide awake writing every fucking thing you ever said down. You're not bigger than the program. If you get sued, you need to get an attorney. You are not walking into a 7-hour deposition and think you're walking out and gonna go on your Twitch stream and brag about it. You fucked up. You gave them everything they wanted. DJ Akademiks is going to lose this lawsuit. Like, I don't know. You tell me, does he have an attorney? Does he have an attorney? Like, who is representing him? Because there's no way that if he had an attorney that his attorney would let him go to that deposition without talking to him first and without preparing for him and without also being there to object to all those questions. A lot of those questions he should not have been answering. But they steamrolled you because they thought you were so smart. You're fucked.
A few moments later.
DJ Akademiks is actually the perfect example of who all of the Tory Lanez supporters are. Because when I seen the videos from the defamation of character lawsuit with Roc Nation and Megan Thee Stallion against him, I thought that was a skit. I thought he wasn't serious. This man said, I think that if Tory shot Megan, she wouldn't be alive, but she's alive and twerking. What? People get shot all the time and live. And now it's against the law to twerk after you got shot? And then they basically asked him if he believes that Tory Lanez didn't actually do it. And he was like, I'm not saying that he didn't unequivocally 100% do it, like just using words. So then the lawyer asked, okay, so are you suggesting that Megan Thee Stallion perjured herself on the stand? This man said, I don't know. So what is it that you keep saying she's lying about? I'm confused. And he says, well, I don't like liars, and that chick's a liar. Like, please. He said she's a liar then, she's a liar now, and she'll always be a liar. As a matter of fact, forget the lawsuit. Just throw him in jail with the Lucky Charms leprechaun. Okay, lock him up now.
A few moments later.
This nigga DJ Akademiks gotta be one of the stupidest people alive. This nigga just lost his defamation lawsuit case.
DJ Akademiks does not have a defamation lawsuit case. He was being deposed for somebody else's defamation lawsuit case, but let's keep going.
With two simple ass questions. Lawyers are smart. They're very intelligent. They know how to get an answer from you. She asked him the most basic questions. Pretty much, and I'm gonna paraphrase the questions is, nigga, did you see it happen and were you at the event? He answered no.
Yeah, because he wasn't. Most of that deposition, the attorney was asking him his opinion and how he gathered his opinion. Asking him if he was there doesn't mean that he was wrong for coming to his own conclusion, because in the mind of a juror, he has the right to say, yeah, well, with all the evidence that I know, I still don't think Tory is guilty of these crimes. I think that there's a lot of things missing. He has the right to say that. I don't think that DJ Akademiks said anything wrong in that interview. He also allowed himself a lot of context by over-explaining, so that way it's not misconstrued if you just read the transcript. You know what I'm saying? He literally allowed himself to explain, over-explain. Like, a lot of y'all are forgetting that Meg and Kelsey both denied the fact or couldn't recall the fact that they both got into a fight. So that evidence was scrapped. It was never even thought of besides when Tory's lawyer mentioned it. But that's it. Also, they kept speaking about Jaquan, which was the driver. And we all know, but some of y'all probably forgot, that the judge actually sped the case up and wanted it to end because he didn't want it to go past Christmas. So they had to speed up the case, so he wasn't able to testify. When it came about, they wanted to arrest the testimony and said that he couldn't testify. That's the reason why he never got on the stand. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of things missing from this story, and a lot of people don't want to tell the entire story. So there's nothing wrong with anybody having doubts about Tory being innocent or guilty or not. You know what I'm saying? And the last thing I'm going to add, let's not act like just because the jury finds you guilty, that means that you are. Because this year alone, I've seen over 10 people getting out of jail because they were wrongfully convicted 10 to 20 to 30 years ago. And they're just now getting out because the jury got it wrong. So I don't like the fact that her lawyer was saying that, because I mean, come on now.
A few moments later.
Every time I see Livingston pop up on my algorithm, I just have to say something because I'm so tired of this big, funky fatso. So he got on a live stream talking to one of Megan's lawyers who represented her during the Tory Lanez trial, and she basically baited him into a defamation lawsuit. She's asking him the appropriate questions. Were you there? Were you a witness? Were you at the party? Were you in the car? He answered no to all of these. And he basically based his opinions off of him feeling like she was a liar. He just baited himself into a defamation lawsuit. I can't wait till Megan sues the socks off that man. Because you hate this girl so much because you can't have her. And that's just that on that. And I love reminding people that this big fat funky fuck has a whole grape case against him. He literally raped a girl with two of his friends at his house, and it was all caught on camera. Like, this is your king?
I've stated, I feel that they play dumb at first, and then that's when they get you. Yes, Tisa tells she had a video last night. I watched it last night. She spoke on DJ Act and the whole situation with Megan Thee Stallion and Milagro. But my whole thing is, in my opinion, and other people are saying it, I feel like this could have been, in my opinion, a setup. Because at the end of the day, you have a whole situation where, again, these people, they'll play dumb at first, and then that's when they swoop in and they get you. Yes, I have TikTok. I didn't see it on TikTok though. Oh, it's been a long time since I've been on TikTok. Well, see, my whole thing about that is when it comes down to his deposition, was that a way to get him to say something? Because then again, I was listening to Tisa Tells, even if it was accidentally shared, according to her, she said that that was still considered attorney, privilege, so much as far as the attorney chats, even though it was accidentally, well, we don't know, but if it was accidentally shared, it's still protected. And the fact that he shared it, he could get in trouble for that. And what she was saying was he was tweeting as he was doing his deposition. So I don't know if he's got himself in trouble or not. But again, I've been looking all day. There has been no court update, but I guarantee once they come out with more evidence, so much as far as deposition transcripts, trust and believe, I'm gonna have y'all covered. I'll have it, and we'll have a conversation about it. We will. Was Rock Nation involved in this matter? I am not sure. I have no idea, DJ. Well, the situation paradise is, according to Tisa Tell, she's spoken to, I guess, someone who's a lawyer. That chat that was amongst the lawyers was privated, even though it was alleged that it was accidentally shared. It's still protected under, I guess, attorney or however you put it. But that's what she's saying that she's spoken to her friend about, I guess, who's in the legal system or whatever. But I don't know, so I'm not making no opinion about it. I'm just saying, to me, in my opinion, I feel like he could or could not get in trouble. But again, we'll have to wait and see, because if this was something for him to get in trouble, it would have been first thing this Monday morning. I would have saw an update. Hey, hold him in contempt, because that's one thing that he could have. They could attempt to hold him in contempt. As y'all saw, we're waiting to hear back on the situation with Caesar, because they filed to hold him in contempt for how he botched his depot. So, and a point that she, and I want to bring this up too, a point that she made last night was, when it comes down to him, they know that he was speaking, he will share it to the masses. And they're going to, if this is something that he could be held in contempt of or be dragged into, they could then turn around and say, see, look, this is an example of what we're talking about, of how these individuals do. When there's a situation that should be privated for a moment in time, you see how the person would then go and flip it and then post it to the masses. They could utilize that as an example of what they mean by, hey, you see how they post things and get things out to the masses. So that could be very well an example. And last night, I was able to get the recordings. So I do have the recordings from that February 2022 show, or was it 23 show? 20, hold on, let me go back and look, because I got the screenshot right here. Chill. Was that 23 or 22? Hold on, let me maximize. Oh, 22. So February the 23rd, 2022. I do have that recording. And that's that lady having a conversation and continuously bringing up Ack's name. And in that same recording, you can hear her call DJ Ack a fat ass. So that whole recording, all that's recorded and documented and everything, right? Like that. Just waiting for the moment in time where it needs to be said or posted, it would be in the vault. Picture me open up the vault, bitch. I sealed that. But anyway,
A few moments later.
back on the Cardi B matters. I believe, in my opinion, that this woman, there are quite a bit of things that she is not telling the truth on. And for me, in my opinion, if I'm on trial and I'm on the stand, in no way, shape, or form, if something happened to me, I'm not gonna be up there getting irritated. And the simple fact that this woman sit up here and lied and said that she quit that job when she in fact got terminated from that job, she just tramping herself up. And then also, on top of that, if I was scratched and got bruised and got beat up by a celebrity, do you not think at that moment of time that's when them pictures would have been taken? So you mean to tell me she said in one notion that she didn't have pictures, and then in another notion she said she had pictures. So when they tried to ask her for pictures, she then said that the phone that the photographs were on, she had already disposed of it. But if you filed a lawsuit, why would you get rid of the pictures if you claim that you had the pictures? You would have actually had the actual proof. And then now that I'm taking a look at the actual original complaint that she filed, and I'm sitting here looking at it, no pictures whatsoever. Everybody always posts pictures within their complaint to show proof of why they filed, the actual lawsuit. And this lawsuit was filed. When did she file this lawsuit? I had it right here too. Hold on, y'all. Do 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 do. She filed this lawsuit on February the 21st of 2020. And you mean to tell me that the actual incident happened on February the 24th of 2018? Why did you wait 2 years later to then file a lawsuit? You know what I'm saying? And Paradise, to answer your question, you said I may be the minority, but what I saw act dog walked Megan's lawyers. Um, in any case, it appears that way. Now, we don't know the depth, but what I do know is when it comes to deposition, so much as far as who he's involved with, I understand there are going to be a lot of irrelevant questions that are asked that has nothing to do with the case. But I get it. But then at the same time, are they asking those questions because they know partial answers to, or again, they throw a bunch of questions at you to try to trump you up, which we all see. They'll ask you the same question like 20 different times to see if you tell the same answer every time they tell it, but in a different format. But in this instance, this could be not so much as far as a depot on him, but so much as far as, in my opinion, like I stated, it could be an example to say, hey, you see how they do? But again, that's just that's just my opinion. And yes, she has no evidence at all. No evidence. But I'm getting ready to read this court document. Don't y'all worry, I'll have y'all covered. I'm just waiting to see what the heck going on because I know Law and Crime, they just posted a message saying that they lost feed. So I don't know what the heck going on. But I was intrigued with this. I had to take a break from that little Nas X stuff and I got intrigued by this, but ain't no damn video footage. Shit. But we gonna see. But yes, y'all give me some time. I'ma show start going over this court document here. Cause this is interesting to me. I think they're trying to trap him because they didn't have to ask anything about Billy. Exactly, and that was my whole point, and that's multiple people's point. Now, a lot of people were laughing and they was having a conversation about it, like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah," but then people are slowly coming back and was like, "Wait a minute, hold up, did they just trip him up?" I keep trying to tell y'all, reading these court documents since day one. October the 29th, 2024, until now, the original complaint, then the actual admitted complaint, and then all of the evidence. These people, they play stupid at first, and then they come back, and then that's when they get you. That's my interpretation, that my opinion of what I see. So Cardi's testifying tomorrow. Okay, so I would be tuned into that. But shout out to Lipstick Alley because I was looking at something else and y'all totally put me on something because I ain't know nothing about this case. I thought this case was about the microphone incident when the woman threw water on her and then she threw the microphone in the crowd. That's what I thought this was about because I had covered that before. But hmm, bitch, I still got cases open. Keep your mouth shut tomorrow. Play with me today, then get some sleep. You know what's up tomorrow. Fake bitch. That's why my friend fucked on your nigga. Uh huh. But anyway,